Yo, what is going on, man? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Suns defeating the Nuggets. Oh yeah, it was a clean sweep. The Nuggets, they lost to the Suns. The Suns got them out there quick and easy. This was no gentleman's sweep. We're going to be covering that whole series. We're going to talk about some players. You know, I like putting a spotlight on the players. We're going to give you the numbers. You know I love coming with the facts, so we're going to give you some good numbers. And overall, we're going to talk about maybe the future for what's next. What's next for the Suns? What's next for the Nuggets? Before I get into all that, I'm going to just go ahead and put this out there. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. Right now, I'm like the Phoenix Suns, man. I'm trying to come up. I'm trying to go from the bottom to the top. How do I get there? By your help. Share these videos if you enjoy them. Also, if you're new here and you have no idea who I am, if you have no idea what I do, let me tell you. I do reactions. So whenever anything big is going on in the playoffs, I'm covering it. I do trades. This offseason, there's going to be a lot of trades going on. I'm going to be trying to keep up with Shams and Woj and Rachel Nichols. I'm going to be trying to keep up with everybody. Sometimes I do predictions, and there are other times where I do videos on players and teams. For example, earlier this year, I did a video on Chris Paul. I believed he should be the MVP, and guess what? Right now, he's playing like it. So I did a video on that, and if you want to go back and check it, feel free. Just scroll on the channel. I keep everything archived. It's always there and available to you. So let's go ahead and get into this series. Let's go, start with Michael Malone, because Michael Malone is a guy who always is very honest, is very open, and we have a quote here when he's describing his team. He described the team as sensitive, tentative, and soft. Oh man, soft? You don't want to hear that from your coach, but man, Michael Malone is a man who's always honest and always direct. And he's, believe it or not, he's a player's coach, because normally his teams respect that. And he was trying to motivate his guys, because in this series, they just weren't playing up to their capabilities. They did great in the Blazers series, taking out the Blazers, but this series against the Phoenix Suns, it just was not happening. Guys like Aaron Gordon tried to motivate the locker room. Guys like JaVale McGee talked to the guys and said how, you know, they're beating themselves by not playing better defense. The coach was on them. The players were trying to hold accountability for their play, but it just, in the end, it didn't matter. The Suns have been playing too good. They're on a hot streak, if you will. And let's just go ahead and go through the game series right now. Going into this series, you would think it was going to be a lot more competitive. You have Nikola Jokic, who's been playing great. He won the MVP. The Nuggets made a trade for Aaron Gordon. They had young guys like Michael Porter Jr., who's been playing great. Going into this series, you thought it was going to be a lot more competitive. Going into this, I didn't think this was just going to be a clean sweep. But we got to give credit to the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns are playing phenomenal. Monty Williams, who was a Coach of the Year candidate, he was voted amongst the coaches as Coach of the Year, but he didn't receive that award in the end. You have Chris Paul, who was an MVP candidate, who I talked a lot about earlier this year. You have the young stars in Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, who's been playing great. So this series, you thought it was going to be a little more even, but it turned out that the Suns were able to take it. Let's go ahead and break this down a little bit more. Let's talk about CP Suns. Now, Chris Paul's Suns, these are his playoff numbers right now for this year, and these really don't give him enough credit. The other day, I heard a crazy stat. Going into Game 4, Chris Paul had 33 assists and only 3 turnovers. That's the point guard, man. He's playing great. He wants to get a championship. Father Time hasn't caught Chris Paul just yet. You know, he had that injury scare in the Lakers series, but yet he's still playing great now, and he's been able to bounce back from that. Overall, Chris Paul's work ethic has really rubbed off on the team. One young player that has really rubbed off on is DeAndre Ayton. Now, DeAndre Ayton, he was a high draft pick. He was in that Luka Doncic, Marvin Bagley, Trae Young draft. We're not going to talk about Bagley, but he was in that draft, and he's been able to live up to expectations in the playoffs. Who would have thought, you know, DeAndre Ayton was going to be able to compete with guys like Anthony Davis? Who thought he was going to be able to compete with guys like Nikola Jokic, who's the MVP? Not me, but here he is. He's doing it. So we got to give him some credit. He's been playing phenomenal. And another young player that's been playing great is Devin Booker. You know, early in Devin Booker's career, a knock against him was that, you know, he's a scorer and he doesn't really make his team better. Well, he's still able to score. Now, is he the one that's making his team better? I don't know. It's probably a lot more of Chris Paul facilitating and being a leader. But you know what? That's a great thing. Devin Booker's a young guy, and he doesn't have to be in that role right now because he has Chris Paul by his side. He's able to just score the ball and do his job and do it efficiently. And that's all the Phoenix Suns need right now. So Devin Booker, he's been able to excel at that role, and he's played great in this series. Played great in the playoffs overall. Now let's switch back over to the Denver Nuggets side. They're missing a piece. They're missing their scorer. They're missing their Devin Booker. Basically, they're missing Jamal Murray. Murray played great in the bubble last year. I have no idea why, but no one ever talks about the bubble. I love talking about the bubble. I thought it was actually harder than normal playoffs because, you know, you don't have a home court advantage. You don't have fans rooting for you. You're not even around friends and family, and there's also no travel, so people are always fresh. Jamal Murray played great in the bubble. He tends to play good in the playoffs. Now, sadly, before the playoffs started this year, he went down with an injury, and the team really missed him. At the time, Michael Porter Jr. was able to pick up kind of where Murray was left out. Michael Porter Jr. has been playing great, but overall, right now, the team, they really could have used Murray in this series. Overall, going forward for the Nuggets, I really don't know what they're going to do. It seems like they really miss Jamal Murray, obviously. They miss Grant, who they lost in the offseason. They brought in guys like McGee and Aaron Gordon, and they have young stars like Michael Porter Jr., who's starting to come up. And they have an MVP in Nikola Jokic. So what do they do going forward? I'm not really sure. Doubt there's a coaching change. They like Mike Malone. Mike Malone's a good coach. So going forward, I don't really know what they're going to do this offseason because they have a lot of great weapons. They just didn't get it done this year. So their future, not too sure about. But one person who's going to be big in their future is Michael Porter Jr. Hopefully next year he continues to play great. Hopefully he continues to build upon this season, and hopefully going forward he becomes a bigger star for the Denver Nuggets. I believe if Michael Porter Jr. is able to step up his game, the Nuggets can go even further. What's next for the Phoenix Suns? Well, next up they could be playing the Clippers. Chris Paul could be going against his old team, or they could be playing the Utah Jazz. Now, that would be an interesting matchup. Donovan Mitchell is playing great. Quinn Snyder, who's another Coach of the Year candidate, even though he didn't get it, he's been getting the most out of his team. They have the Defensive Player of the Year in Rudy Gobert. They have the sixth man in Jordan Clarkson. So, damn, that's a... Whew, they just stuffed the stat sheet right there. That's a hell of a resume right there. It's going to be a good series. I would hope to see Suns and Jazz. Could be Suns and Clippers, but I doubt it. I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to break down what the Clippers are doing wrong. But hey, man, I just wanted to get in, wanted to get out. If you like this video, as I said before, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to share. Also, I'm doing a mystery prize giveaway. Once I hit 100 subscribers, I'm gonna drop a video celebrating it, and the first person to comment on that video will receive either a cash prize or an NBA Top Shot moment from my collection. I'll be sure to contact the winner. So yeah, so that's a little incentive for you guys. So please be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and you could win that $100 or that Top Shot moment. But once again, you know, my name's Leezy, L-E-E-Z-Y. This is Bank Shot Basketball. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're enjoying the playoffs, and I hope you keep tuning into the channel. But yeah, thanks again, and everyone have a good one. I'm out.